ShotokuTech, Saturday Story Time. These are the stories that you might have missed while you were caught up in other stories. Welcome back to ShotokuTech, Saturday Story Time, 26 September 2020 edition. First up, the Hubble snaps stunning new rainbow views of Jupiter and finds a new storm brewing. So the Hubble telescope observed Jupiter back in August in 3 different wavelengths of light using ultraviolet, visible, and near-infrared light. And so this panchromatic multi-wavelength image is helping scientists to see where the haze and particles are distributed on the gas giant. They also observed this new storm right here, this white swirl with winds up to 350 miles an hour. And they first saw this storm in August of 2020. This article also features other great descriptions of observations of Jupiter, so it's worth following the link in the description down below to the Blogspot article and check it out. These human footprints that date back 120,000 years tell an interesting story in Saudi Arabia. It's apparent that a small band of Homo sapiens stopped by for a drink, a little foraging, and perhaps they went on a hunt. But most interesting is there's no evidence of stone tools left here corresponding to these footprints that would indicate a long-term presence. So apparently they were just passing through. This German study reveals that mobile phone radiation may be harming insects. Radiation from mobile phones could contribute to dramatic decline in insect population. There were 190 different studies carried out by Germany's Nature and Biodiversity Conservation Union. 72 showed that radiation had negative effects on bees, wasps, and flies. The effects range from reduced ability to navigate due to disturbance of magnetic fields to damage to genetic material and larvae. This type of radiation opens calcium channels in certain cells, meaning they absorb more calcium ions, and this can trigger biochemical chain reactions in the insects. Don't tell Elon Musk this, but scientists find this secret molecule that allows bacteria to exhale electricity. These are called geobacter, and they actually exhale a small amount of electrons, generating a tiny electrical current in the process. And then they all gather together and breathe through these snorkels called nanowires. And these nanowires can conduct this electricity a great distance away from these microbes. This story illustrates to an extreme just how dangerous hackers are. Here, this woman was on her way to a hospital with life-threatening condition, and she was turned away because that particular hospital was suffering from a ransomware attack. She had to go to another hospital 20 miles away, resulting in a 1-hour delay in treatment, and she died. The police were communicating with the attackers, and they told them that they were attacking a hospital. I think they were intending to attack the university, so they reportedly withdrew the extortion demand and provided a decryption key to unlock the ransomware. It's really all ones and zeros until somebody gets hurt, and in this case, ransomware killed somebody. So way back in January, in the early days of ShotokuTech Saturday Story Time, I reported about the assembly of this 60-foot tall Gundam robot in Japan, and now here it is, living, breathing, and walking among us. Yes, it's 60 feet tall, and it's ready to stretch its legs. This has been under construction in Yokohama. Let's watch it for a minute here. That's pretty cool. So here the International Space Station was maneuvered to avoid collision with unknown space debris that would have flown within a mile of it. The astronauts on board were moved to the Soyuz spaceship that's attached to the International Space Station in the unlikely event that debris actually struck the station. Then, at around 5:19 p.m. on the 22nd, Mission Control fired the thrusters of a Russian cargo ship for 150 seconds to boost the larger orbiting laboratory complex out of the way. The Rosetta spacecraft observation of Comet 67P reveals that this comet has its own aura. Solar winds smash water molecules to make the comet's version of the northern lights. It doesn't shimmer, though, as you would expect the northern lights to on Earth, because it's invisible ultraviolet light. The electrons in the solar wind, a stream of charged particles continually flowing from the sun, interact with the gas surrounding 67P to create an auroral glow. Scientists also indicate that cometary auras could be used to probe variations in the solar wind and lead to better forecasts for space weather. The Earth might get a new mini-moon, but it might just be 1960s space junk. Yes, they've been observing this 2020 SO and predicting that the Earth could actually trap it in an orbit much like the moon, and it might stay around for a little while. But as they watch it, they find that it's following this close track of what could be a Centaur booster from NASA's Surveyor 2 mission from September of 1966. So the identity of 2020 SO will become clearer, and more observations will be made next month to watch how the sun affects the object. We should start being able to detect the effect of sunlight pressure on the motion of this object. Here, astronomers reported a mini-moon in February when they identified an asteroid called 2020 CD3 had been tagging along with the Earth for about 3 years. So 2020 SO will fall into orbit this fall and then make its closest approach to Earth on December 1 and February 3rd before slipping away again in the spring. Okay, so if you dreamed of a camera drone flying around your home at the whim of Alexa, well, Amazon has this for you. Yes, this flying ring drone is about 9 inches square, and it has its own little dock so it can stay charged, but it will be free to fly around your home. It's an autonomous, always home cam. The product is expected in 2021. It's roughly the size of a 9-inch square baking pan. It's got its own charging dock that blocks the camera's view when it's docked, but you can launch the device from your Ring app, and perhaps via Alexa, the little device goes airborne. It can fly through your house. You can specify a flight path, map your house, and locate points of interest. That's not creepy at all. Researchers reviewing the sinking of the Titanic posed that the northern lights may have played a role in its demise. These charged particles can interfere with radio signals, and they could have thrown the Titanic's compass off, placing it in a collision course with an iceberg blamed for the disaster. There was no moon on this evening, and rescuers reported that there was light from the aurora borealis, glimmering like moonbeams shooting up from the northern horizon. These greenish beams were visible for 5 hours. Researchers suggest that the solar storm may have pulled the Titanic's compass needle in the wrong direction, steering the ship off course. If the Carpathia, the rescuing ship, was similarly affected, then the interference may have inadvertently guided the steamer to the survivors, making up for the fact that the original SOS signal had directed the Titanic's rescuer to a spot almost 7 miles away from its actual location. The study also indicates the Titanic's radio transmissions were affected. The nearby La Provence did not pick up the Titanic signal, and Mount Temple's responses never reached the sinking ship. Thank you for watching ShotokuTech Saturday Story Time. Make sure to look down below for the link in the description to this Blogspot article with all the URLs for the stories we just talked about. Thank you, and have a great week. Thank you for watching ShotokuTech. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share.